this is Will the Werewolf again. I'm making some videos that are just my werewolf philosophy and outlook on life. Louis, the guy who is making the documentaries and doing all the hard work behind the scenes, really hates me making these videos because apparently they're hated by members of the public. But I like them because I'm showing you kind of my outlook on life from my point of view as a werewolf. So you're going to listen to them, whatever. If you could subscribe and if you could like, that would be fantastic for the channel. It's not monetized or anything, so I'm not making any money out of this. I don't really have to anyway, to be honest. But if you do that, then it goes up in the algorithms and things, which is apparently a good thing. You'll get spotted more often and actually get out there, which is what we want. You can speak to me at www.werewolf.host. There's links, I think, in the description below if you want to actually talk to a real werewolf. I've spoken to lots of people who think they're werewolves recently. It's quite interesting. So if you think you're a werewolf, then give me a shout. That'd be interesting to talk to someone who thinks they're a werewolf. I'm actually travelling at the moment. I'm coming back to wherever I'm coming back to do some filming, wherever I'm going to do some filming in June to film my transformation. Hopefully that'll be done before the 19th of June, okay? We have managed to get 3. We were trying to get 4 skeptics. We've managed to get 3 skeptics to agree to actually see what's going on. So hopefully it's not going to be the waste of time that everyone thinks it's going to be. I am currently in deep shit with both the government and my werewolf family and hierarchy. So life has become a bit of a struggle for me trying to get about and do stuff, but I will try my damnedest to be there, because damned is a thing, okay? So this is about a bit of philosophy that I'm going to throw at you. If you're not into philosophy and stuff, just don't even listen to this, because it's not about werewolves killing shit or anything. It's about my ideas on life, okay? So I'll just crack on with it. Fairness is the right of the weakest, says Joubert. Life is not fair. You know that it's not, it's just unfucking fair. Deal with it. Please, just deal with the fact that it's not fair. You cry and moan and say, that's not fair, this is not fair, yada, 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 yada. You're right. You are right. It's not fair. Things happen to us and others often that seem horribly and massively unfair. Hey, for a start, you're probably not a werewolf like me. Probably. People whinge when they get mistreated at times. Nature herself is a bitch, and she has no idea about fairness. She's your mistress, and she just tolerates you. She does not care. It's you that made fairness a thing. It does not exist in the natural world. I mean, where did it come from? You were conned into its belief. If something happens to you that you deem unfair, you sit there and complain about it. If you just accepted that shit happens and that you had not heard about fairness, then you would not even care about it. When things happen that you think are unfair, forget about them. It's the truth. Fair is not a thing, so forget about it. I think I've said fair an awful lot there, so I won't carry on with talking about fairness and stuff. Oh, fuck it. Also, why do you treat people with fairness? Fuck them. Every person for themselves. You can actually use it to manipulate people in the end, but fuck fairness. Take all, leave nothing. Karma. Oh, karma. Brings back so many good memories. What the fuck is karma? You're telling me there's some magical balance that means that if you do something bad, that it will come back to you in the end. Really? Do you really believe that shit? Think about all those nasty, awful bastards out there doing horrendous things to people for their gain. It's another fucking lie we tell ourselves to try and make ourselves feel better. I mean, how weak do you really have to be just to sit there and think that, well, they were a dick to me, but that's okay, because the vital life force, spirit, God, whatever, will turn it back on them and make them pay. Bollocks. Utter bollocks. Make them pay now and instantly tear out a throat or two. No. Again, I'm now going to put another large fly in a very small pot of ointment, that ointment being the ointment of life. Get ye rid of all hope. No, you are not at the doors of hell. You have been taught to hope. You have been taught that hope is a positive thing. I disagree. Hope in reality is the worst of all evils because it prolongs the torments of man. That's a nice little saying by Nietzsche. Okay, it's a bit sexist. He shouldn't have said man, he should have said people. But, those days were those days. Albert Camus and several other philosophers have resigned hope to a useless, if not negative characteristic. A life without hope is a life we have to accept as absurd. People think that hope increases a person's persistence, allowing them to get through tough times. Almost all people experience hope, and it changes the way you think about things that happen. What the fuck is hope? Hope, again, is a human construct. It is not a natural biological phenomenon. It is not a law of the bitch that is nature. It is learnt from others. We are socialized to be hopeful. Hopeful is learnt at a young age as you learn your language and how to communicate with others. That pathetic religion, what's it called? Something like Christianity or something, itself is based on hope. The hope that if we live in an ideal life, or we live an ideal life, that we will be rewarded in heaven after we die. Hope is never a thing we need. It's not real. Hope is a belief in optimism, and optimism has its fatal flaws. Hope seems like a great thing, and it's said that when there is still hope, we can still hang on. But what do you do? What do you do when optimism fails, or all hope eventually runs out? We cease acting, give up, and have nothing left to get us through the difficult times. I do not need hope. You do not need hope. I never believe that things will just work out. I act because I know it is, the right thing to do, so that changes things that I need to change. I don't just sit back and hope that it will work out. I do shit to get things sorted and done. I know I'm all powerful, me being a werewolf and that I can change my set of circumstances, but you can too. Catastrophic thinking and the ideas of accepting the world as a shitty place helps me. As long as I have an internal sense of control and the coping strategies to deal with the worst that, can be sent, it does not matter if the worst thing actually happens. Being prepared for the worst in my case allows me to be ready for it, and it stops me from being upset or angry when that bad thing actually happens. Things happen. It is us that assigns them as good or bad. Fuck hoping. That will not get in the way. It will just not get better. You need to do something about it if you can. The world at the moment is full of this positive outlook theory. People are taught that they need to remain positive at all things. I never understood this. All these self-help books written by people advocating the virtues of just thinking that something good will happen will actually make that good thing happen. Look at a book like The Secret. Look at it again. Tear out a page and then use it to wipe your ass. Then I realised by reading a bit of Freddie N that this is not the case. He is not the only pessimist met in the philosophical history. Many are great thinkers like Schopenhauer and Voltaire. These people are examples of true pessimistic types, but Fred's pessimism was very different. Socratic optimism always highlighted things like logic, truth, and beauty, Reality to the optimist can be conquered, made, ordered, and bettered. Nietzsche's pessimism, on the other hand, is cruel, chaotic, and not logical at all, but once understood and accepted, can be used to get and achieve what it is you want. But unlike other philosophers and prophets, Freddie wants us to tackle the reality of life, the fact that the world is a dark place full of scary, dark things. Eastern philosophy and some of the early philosophers valued acceptance, the move to get away from striving to achieve, that this tolerance of a nasty, really horrible world will lead to becoming a sage, or dare I say it, fucking enlightened. Freddie wants us to move forward with enthusiasm and suffer joyfully, and that we should have no expectations, that we should not be waiting for luck or something good to happen, to not think that things will change for the better, but get out there, know you are suffering for a reason, and do fucking something about it. We should not accept that everything is going to be okay. It will not all work out in the end, blah 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 blah. They want to get rid of hope. You want to get rid of hope. Hope itself is a narcotic in the fact that you can always hope that things are going to get better, and just knowing this numbs the pain of reality. We stop trying to change things because we hope it will all work out. Envision the worst that can happen. That way we can do something to stop it from happening, instead of thinking it will work out and then be broken when it does not. It also destroys anger, thinking of every outcome. Only the things that are bad and happen to us and that we do not expect to happen will make us angry. Having hope that everything is going to be okay, then finding out that everything is not going to be okay, at the very least will make us very fucking angry. Oh, and if you are a true stoic and things get too hard for you, too much for you to stomach, then we can kill ourselves. Harsh but true. Camus said that the only meaning in life is what gets you through the day without killing yourself. In my opinion, there is no better meaning in life that can be found. Stop searching for a meaning in life. That is it. Shall I kill myself, or shall I have a coffee? I think I'll have a coffee. Hope is a form of cowardice in my eyes. It is the thing that keeps us from accepting the real realities of life and prolonged suffering. So abandon all hope, and ye shall enter not through the doorway to hell, but into a better, more fulfilling experience where you can see all the outcomes. Know that you are the one that has to do the things to get rid of your suffering. Getting that job is not going to come about by you just hoping it will happen. You need to work towards it. It is an external belief system that we have learnt. The hope that it works out often works out, so it's self-perpetuating. If hope fails, then we have nothing. If hope succeeds, it's an external factor on which you can then rely. So we have to change our sense of control from external to internal. We can, and we together will. You have been taught in many ways that you have little control over your life, be it by parents, teachers, or just the culture that you live within. We will change from asking what is happening to me, or why is this happening to me, to what am I going to fucking do about this. If something happens and you are prepared for it, you do not get angry. If something happens to you and you decide how you're going to react, you feel a stronger sense of control of your life, and you often have much more favourable outcomes. How do fighters continue in the face of pain, injury, and maybe a little humiliation? They have the ability to deal with what is going on and use coping strategies. That is paramount. Finding internal resources that help. You can suffer and you can cope, and then eventually cope with winning. We don't have faith. We don't have faith that we can cope. We don't have faith that we can have a level of control over the situation. Faith believes in something that may or may not be accurate. It is an undeniable belief in something without evidence. We know we can survive. We know we can cope. We have proof of past struggles. So we know we can do it. So just fucking do it.